Most personalization projects don't fail because of poor data or missing AI capabilities or having the wrong tech platform. They actually fail much earlier. They fail at the moment where people want to talk about personalization. CRM teams talk about marketing automation, triggers and flows. Campaign teams talk about messages, tone of voice, channels, messaging, and so on. E-commerce teams talk about recommendations, and leadership may talk about data scale and AI and whatnot. And whenever they're referring to the term personalization, they're actually referring to quite different things. So everybody uses the word personalization, but almost no one actually carry the same meaning over that word. So that's why personalization projects often fail before technology even becomes an issue. In the book Hello First Name that I did together with Frans Riemersma, after a huge sort of exploration with a lot of people in the industry, loads of expert panels and whatnot, and our combined experience altogether, we provided the framework of the Bowtie of Personalization, which is essentially a model that is thus built bottom up and that will explain to you what personalization really is. So allowing you to have meaningful conversations with your colleagues around what personalization is without having this ambiguity about what is and what isn't. But while this model is really useful for having these conversations, we also found that it doesn't automatically transfer itself into usable use cases. While you may have the model, and that's a good idea, it doesn't really materialize itself into actual good personalization, automatically at least. Which is why we then invented the personalization cards. So actually, conversation cards where the direction of travel, so to speak, is the opposite of the model. So we have the abstract model that you also see here in the background, the Bowtie of Personalization, and then we actually took the liberty of providing loads of micro examples that all relate to the different corners of the Bowtie of Personalization. So we have the segments, a little bit demographic segments, behavioral segments, value-based segments. You have the moments of truth type of insight, which relates quite a lot to the different phases in the customer lifecycle. You have the messages, whether it be campaign messages or being lifecycle messages. And you have your content feeds in the form of product recommendations or content recommendations. It could be articles, could be recent articles, buying guides, style tips, whatever. And obviously you have the touch points as the last color here of the cards. And the idea here is then that this is actually carrying with it the same structure as you have in the abstract model, but taking it down to a concrete level where you and your teams can have meaningful conversations about what are our most important segments, what do we tell them, in which moments of truth do we meet them, and what do we do with our recommendations across our site, in our marketing automation, and in our campaigns. And realizing that not all industries are created equal. This is the commerce edition of the cards, as you can see here. But we also made the charity and NGO version of this because different segments, different moments of truth, different messaging. We have the subscription version of it so that you can play this out with your team, CRM team in subscription. Or we have the banking edition. So whatever deck fits your sort of reality better is where you would probably use. So this is basically the idea that you use these cards to have meaningful conversations, map out so what are our most important personalization use cases that we want to do, and you can agree on which segments to work with and which value that you can actually create. It is, of course, also worth mentioning that the personalization cards exist in a pure digital version, which you can see here on the screen. So it's all based on the Miro platform, the Miro boards, where you can actually do many of the same things as you can do with the physical cards. Obviously, the digital version here enables you to collaborate across multiple locations, which can be super nice. On the other hand, they don't have the tactile feeling that the actual physical cards do. Also, I would encourage you to check out personalizationcanvas.com, which is where you can actually use it as a concrete tool, not based on Miro, but a separate standalone tool. So the cards, they don't replace strategy, they don't replace technology, but they help teams agree on what they're actually trying to do before technology even becomes an issue.